Hello everyone, Tequila Pete here. I just wanted to give you a quick representation of a common vulnerability that we all see, right? We're all familiar with phishing, we're all familiar with spoofing. We see this in the cryptocurrency world, but how does it really work? What does it really mean, right? So today I want to talk about cross-site request forgery, otherwise known as CSRF, OWASP, which is the foundation that I follow, that I relate to when it comes to making sure that standards are met with some of these websites, right? It's a global foundation, very common, very well known, and it just basically dictates what a secure website should look like. Here they define CSRF, cross-site request forgery, as an attack that forces an end user to execute unwanted actions on a web application in which they're currently authenticated. With a little help of social engineering, such as sending a link via email or chat, an attacker may trick the user of the web application into executing actions of the attacker's choosing. What does this mean? This basically means that when we go to Discord, when we go to Twitter, we see these websites that look identical, very similar to the real website, and we're tricked into thinking that they're the real deal. We go to the site, we start clicking on these buttons for airdrops or whatever it may be because the site looks identical. It must be it, huh? But at the end of the day, it's not, right? There's a vulnerability that exists and hackers are exploiting it. So let's get into what that is. Here, I'm utilizing a website called Sky Token. They currently hold this vulnerability, which I find is of critical significance. They're utilizing a third party, and they're telling us that through this third party that this is not a concern. But as we all know, we know phishing exists. We've seen people with wallet drains, etc. So I just want to describe, and I'll leave it up to the audience here, the investors, to figure out if it's a security vulnerability to them or not. So here we have a script that I put together. Let me show you the entire script here. And as you can see here, this is what the script looks like. It's basically a generic code that serves up an HTML web page. This exploit test kit that I use basically incorporates a function, a button here that can be set up as a link or set up as a payload that you can download inadvertently to your computer if this vulnerability exists, and I'll show you why. Here's the website itself. This website, once again, is vulnerable to CSRF exploits, and that's why it's present here. It's the full-blown website, right? So people will see this and they'll say, yeah, this is the real thing. Everything about this website works, right? We have our menus, our home. Here's the menu here. Basically tells us what we can see, what we can't see. Charity, social media, ambassador program. These work. These links do indeed work, and take you where you need to be taken. Here you go. One of the links. So in the end, it's a full-blown website that can be manipulated because they lack the security needed to prevent this embedding of a website. So on top or on the bottom of a different website. So in addition to this website, I have my TechPete exploit test here. This button right here can be, once again, made to download malicious code. In this case, I have it set up to take me to my site as a form of validating that indeed this crypto site is in jeopardy and is very vulnerable and putting investors at risk. So if I click on it, as you can see here, it takes me to my website. Let's go back. Some of the things associated with these type of exploits encompass superimposing these buttons onto the website itself and changing the opacity so you don't see these buttons. However, they do exist, and they link you to some other site or some malicious code, as I will show you in a minute. What I like to see is, okay, so we can manipulate the size of this button so that it encompasses the entire website page, or certain areas. We can superimpose this to fall on top of these links and trick the user. So it could be specific to a button, or it could be just the entire website. So anything you click on, even a blank space, will execute this malicious button. Here we can see the button, right? I've upped it in size. It's humongous, so it has more surface area so that the victim can click on it and once again be exploited. And you know, one of the biggest exploits I see is the payloads that install on your computer, on your phone, and are called keyloggers. They basically take every keystroke, every command you enter, and upload it to email or to a server. And this is how they get your credit card, your seed phrases, and all that good stuff. It's very, very easy to do. Here you can see the button. I superimposed it on top of the website itself. As you can see, I also changed the opacity so you can kind of see that, hey, the button's still there, right? The button's pretty big. It's taking up some real estate on this page. This is the real page. Once again, it's a fully functional page. You can see here the commands, you know, rewards and all that good stuff. So just wanted to share what it looks like with opacity being set. So I'm going to replicate the real page now. However, I'm going to keep this button there so you can see what it looks like and how the deception really works. Here we have the entire website. Looks more like a real website. We have our little tech Pete here. But let's change opacity. Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of the text I had up here too. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, once again, it's a full-blown website. Everything about it works. Buttons are clickable. So be careful with these type of sites. Be careful with these developers who say they're getting their own security experts. I've been in the business for over 20 years. I have a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity and networks. I currently work for a major organization, and my intents, once again, are to bring awareness. And you know, I have that 3 strikes you're out rule. I do go to these devs. This specific token right here, I went to the dev for the last 6 months many times, and he keeps saying he's going to fix it. I've gotten to the point where I don't think he takes investors seriously. Because if he did, these exploits wouldn't exist. I mean, we're all familiar with phishing. Wouldn't it suck if you guys went to the website, clicked on the wrong one, and accidentally lost all your money that you've invested? So stay aware, please. In the end, folks, this is what it should look. Here I'm utilizing a web token, I should say, that I know for a fact has very strict security measures and protects its investors. I actually called out a vulnerability. It was fixed within hours. Very impressive. But as you can see here, here's the web page that I try to pull up. I rescripted it so that it would look for the ConotoryToken.com website. As you can see here, it can't find it. Well, let me rephrase that. It can find it. It's just that Conotory token is secure. It won't allow it to load. So let's read this. Firefox can't open this page. To protect your security, ConotoryToken.com will not allow Firefox to display the page if another site has it embedded. So we saw what embedding a site can do if the incorrect security protocols are present. And here we can see what a correctly secure site can do for you. Last but not least, let's get into, not this. Give me a second here. Here we go. Let's get into once again just a quick review, right? What we have here is cross-site request forgery, right? I mean, the term forgery is scary enough as it is. It is a vulnerability that exists and something that is prevalent amongst the cryptocurrency community. There's a lot of phishing exploits, and the target are obviously investors. The exploit is so well executed and hidden. As you can see, many people are getting tricked into these. They're losing their funding, they're losing their seed phrases. There's so much that can be said. Let's hold our developers accountable. This particular CSRF exploit vulnerability can be remediated within 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It's just a line of code that gets executed. If placed on the website. It doesn't take 30, 60 days. It should be remediated immediately because I'm just here protecting the investors, you people. A lot of people get upset because I call out the token, but you know what? 6 months is a long time to leave this open, right? I am very busy helping people with their recovery of their funds, and my success rate is very, very minimal, and I see a lot of phishing. This is why I'm passionate about it. There's another site I showed this to and said, hey, you're vulnerable. They took care of it immediately. So there's a couple actually. So, just make sure you hold your devs accountable. Once again, cross-site request forgery. There's a perpetrator who forges a request for a fund transfer to a website. Right? The predator embeds the request into a hyperlink, like I just did, and sends it to visitors who may be logged onto the site. So any visitor that hits that site, that hyperlink lives there. It can be a big ginormous box that encompasses the entire page. It could be limited to just a link that's overlaid and superimposed on top of a real link. And then so you get the website visitor that visits, right? The innocent investor who has hard earned money, works his ass off to buy this cryptocurrency. The visitor clicks on the link and inadvertently is sent, the request is sent to the website for execution, or the payload is downloaded to your phone or computer. You're impacted, you're affected. I don't care if you have a ledger, right? You're going to connect that ledger one of these days, and this can remain dormant. It's all about what type of exploit you have. So a cold wallet, is it really going to help? So you're in the website validates the request, transfers funds to the visitor's account of to the perpetrator. So boom, perpetrator gets money, gets in, gets out. I've been once again harping at these developers to get things going. On that subject, I do have another vulnerability associated with the site that I just shared with you, the Sky token. Look for part 2. The other vulnerability is very, very critical, and it allows somebody to sit on the sidelines and in clear text watch the transactions that go through and read them. There is no security. So stay tuned for that one. I hope you enjoyed this and you learned something. Thank you.